Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Last week I had discussed some new inventions that are already being worked on, new discoveries, and they're already being worked on to invent something. So discoveries leading to invention. That's a new trend. And most of the discoveries are based on nature, the reality around us which we are not there. We are not aware of those things. And when we discover them, we want to utilize those discoveries for the good of the world, for the good of the people, for the good of the humanity. That's the way the progress is there. And now today I'm going to continue that discussion that we had. So that the discoveries of last year, how they can improve the fate of the mankind in the coming years. The first discovery that comes to my mind is that for the first time, the scientists have been able to decode the clap of butterfly wings. Now we all are mesmerized by the butterflies flying. We are enchanted. But we never are aware how the butterfly wings clap. Yes, clap. But don't be amazed. Butterfly is shaped unlike any other flying animal, which makes analyzing their flight all the more exciting and inspiring to the scientists. And a study published last year found that the butterfly use an efficient clapping method to generate thrust. Now this set the people thinking, and a pair of biologists from London University, Christopher Johnson and Per Hensingson, conducted an aerodynamic analysis of the free-flying butterflies. From these observations, they found that the broad-winged insects clap their wing strokes together on the upstrokes, but the wings don't press flat together like a pair of hands mid-applause. They don't press. Instead, the butterfly wings bend, which resembles a clapping process. Now this is something new. And not only that, when they clap, the cup of air between those claps strengthens their downstrokes. So they tested it and compared to the flapping capabilities of two robotic clappers, one with rigid wings and one with the flexible wings. They found that the flexibility increased wing efficiency by 28% and added 22% more to their flaps. In nature, a butterfly wings claps probably gives them extra boost they need to escape predators. In the lab, the scientists hope their observation inspires new flying and swimming robots. Already today there are flapping drones that clap wings together. There is one Delphi, but they do not use a clap for propulsion, but they use it to produce force from the clapping. So making flexible flapping robots could be a low energy way to boost us. Likewise, the addition of flexibility could be a boon for the underground robotics. You remember last time I talked to you about the robotics which can work and are attached to the undersurface of the water. So in cramped environment, in underwater archaeology, this can be a boon. And the drone designed for slow and precise maneuvering using paddling fins could infinitely improve performance by flapping fins against the body. And flexible fins could then create a cupped shape of a fin, similar to what we have seen in the butterfly wings. Result: the directionability of the jet propulsion would improve and efficiency of the thrust production would be increased. Voila! The scientists observe that the wings of the butterfly are like a cup and the air thrust in that, and that cupping is transferred to the knowledge of robotics. But not only that, the smallest animal is tardigrade, not even a centimeter. And they are quite inspiring. They look like tiny 8-legged chunky bears, and their name is tardigrades, water bears. They are microscopic aquatic animals. They can survive in the most inhospitable places on the earth, including frigid, absolute zero temperature, boiling hot hydrothermal vents in a vacuum of space, and a pressure 6 times more crushing than the deep ocean. Now these soft-bodied creatures thrash, slither, wriggle like worms. But not these. All soft-bodied creatures do. Tardigrades are the soft-bodied animals that can walk. Yes, they have 8 legs. And the study showed that the researchers watched that walk footage of the water bears on different surfaces, from glass to gels. And interestingly, can you imagine rather that the tardigrades walk like insects which are 500,000 times their size? 500,000, 500,000 times their size. And they move only half of their minuscule body. Their body is 0.5 millimeters. And they move only half of that body, that's 0.25 millimeters per second on an average. And they can move 2 body lengths in the same amount of time at the top speed. So what they do? They adjust their steps according to the terrain they are navigating. So this is extremely important for the mountaineers or in the desert areas, especially for the defense forces. Now the strut, the walk of the tardigrades takes them to the far reaches of the earth. So studying their walk is inspiring the scientists new forms of locomotion, A, for the micro-scale robots, B, for the defense forces. Imagine in Siachen, your forces can move that quickly. As a matter of fact, there are some very simple, highly effective ways of coordinating how their 8 legs move. And they do this with minimal brain power. They don't use brain for that. They use some simple rules which are similar to those used in the other larger insect species. The rules are the same, but the way they do it with less power is amazing. Daniel Cohen, a mechanical engineer at Princeton University, conducted this study, and he says it inspired him because with this help he can make a tiny robot where computational power and weights are the limitation. Tardigrade inspired nanorobots, according to him, could be injected into damaged tissue. So this is something which is new to me, and it is excited me. Your tissue is damaged, so you inject this tardigrade inspired nano robot to repair it. Or you have a heart problem, your heart is blocked with a plug, so inject this tardigrade and it removes the plug and moves on. year 1966, a science fiction movie, Fantastic Voyage. I was reminded of that when I read this news. And it's a completely scientific fiction approach. Water bears show us what's possible at that size when you look like what they do. They are the minimum model for what you can do with the legs. And scientists feel that one day they can actually tissue engineer our own multi-cellular biological robots, biorobots, made of the living cells and inspired by the tardigrades. But the inventions don't come end here. Do you know that the slime, which we don't like, we hate it, the mold and slime mold, it has memories but it has no brain. Now imagine you have a memory and you have no brain. And these slime molds are globby, soil-dwelling amoeba that come in very odd shape and in very bright colors at times. But they don't have a brain, they don't have a nervous system, and still the slime mold can navigate a maze, a puzzle, or recall the location of food. They are growing fractures, single-celled organisms, tubular tendrils, and they transport fluid and nutrients through their network like body plan to explore new environments. The study was published this year, rather last year in February, and the researchers found that they record important details of their surroundings by changing the diameter of these outstretched tubes. Now, as I said, they are tubular tendrils, so if more is to be removed, they change the diameter and remember more. And the scientists studied a sunny yellow slime mold under a microscope. They observed that the tubes become thicker when they encounter food and thinner when they find no food. Some sort of a chemical signal, of course, triggers these changes. But this is highly dynamic network organization, and according to Karen Allen, the biophysicist at the University of Munich, this idea of network architecture can serve as a memory of the past. This network mimics how our brain stores memory using synaptic plasticity, meaning synapses become stronger or weaker based on use. Likewise, slime molds tubes that can grow food and dead ends wither away. So you don't get food, they wither away. So using polymer-based polymers, gels or other biological materials, the scientists are hoping to adopt this memory storage and chemical signaling in artificial intelligence. And that would be something great. If artificial intelligence can use that, and they say this would be born for soft robotics that lack hardware. If the rest of the bot is made of biomaterial, a slime-like mold inside part system can be used in a toxic situation like medical application or water processing. The possibilities are almost endless. And then comes a soap-like protein. And this soap-like protein was discovered, and this discovery can lead to human cells warding off bacteria. Our immune system has specialized cellular soldiers ready to fight infections. However, our non-immune cells are defenseless. But then they found that there's a protein which is just like soap. And if you take that, it is a sort of a better antibiotic without any bad effects. It's a case when human beings can make their own antibiotic in the form of protein that acts like a detergent. It washes away all the bacteria, all the virus, all the microbes. So what they did, they infected non-immune system with salmonella. Salmonella is a bacteria that affects the intestine. And they found as the resistance to the antibiotic surges, an alternative option is required. We know antibiotics are extremely bad, side effects are there. So this slime, this salmonella, they are using a protein extracted from that mimics a host protein and bypasses the side effects of the antibiotics. I feel that our sense of observation of nature, that our capability to adapt what we see in nature, observe in nature to our needs, is prime to our progress, to our growth, and really that's the way it should be. There cannot be a better way than this to promote the health and happiness of the human beings. Thank you.